Hello and welcome to In Touch with Durham County, the show designed to provide you with information about Durham County government people, programs, and services. I'm your host, Deborah Craig Ray, Chief Communications Officer. North Carolina is a major state for the military. It's home to Fort Bragg, Army, Camp Lejeune, Marine Corps, as well as two Marine Corps air stations at New River, Cherry Point, and Seymour Johnson Air Force Base. Veterans Day is annually held in November to honor all veterans who have previously served in the United States Armed Forces. It takes place on November 11th. Veteran Services Supervisor Jonathan Crooms joins us to talk about the great work provided by Durham County Veteran Services Office and to share information about the activities that are planned for this year's observance. November is National Adoption Month. Its goal is to increase national awareness and draw attention and support for the thousands of teens in the U.S. foster care system who are waiting for permanent, loving families. We've invited Dana Stewart, child welfare social worker, to join us to talk about this important issue. Jonathan, let's begin our conversation.
I look forward to it. Thank you for having me, Deborah.
Absolutely, my honor. Please tell our viewers what you do for the veterans in Durham County.
Well, we are what are called Veteran Service Officers. And the mission of our office is to improve the quality of life of Durham County's veterans, their survivors, and their dependents by facilitating access to a variety of VA, state, and local veterans benefits. So a lot of what we do is counseling veterans and their families about what benefits are out there. We will help them gather the evidence they need and file their claims with the VA and with other entities as well. When we file claims with the VA, we actually represent those claims to the VA, which means that we can talk to the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs about that veteran or that surviving spouse's claim in order to advocate on their behalf. It's an honor and a privilege to be doing this work every day.
And you guys really do a great job. Great job. So I've read that in North Carolina we have over 600,000 veterans, about 8% of our population. North Carolina has one of the largest veterans communities. Is that right?
It does. There are a couple other states that have a little bit larger populations simply because they happen to be a bit larger states. But we have, as you mentioned in your introduction, several bases here in North Carolina. And it's a very natural landing place for our servicemen and women as they're being discharged from the military.
Very good. And I will say I've actually visited in a past life pretty much all of those stations prior to working for the county. Very impressive. Very impressive. So can you talk about how many staff members you have in your department?
We are a team of 7. At present, we are only staffed at 6. We have 5 veteran service officers, including myself as supervisor and our director, Lindsay Atkins. And we have a senior administrative assistant to help us with making sure all of our administrative tasks are taken care of.
That's very good. Now let's talk about what's coming up soon. Veterans Day. I know every year you all do a wonderful program. You have a great speaker. You honor our community members who are veterans. And just talk about that, if you will.
It's always an exciting event for us every year, and a lot of work and thought goes into the planning. This year, we will have it at 11 a.m. on Monday, November 10th in conference rooms A, B, and C on the second floor of Health and Human Services. And our motto or emblem for the event is loyalty and service, honoring all those who served. So we welcome all of Durham County's veterans, whether they served on active duty or in the reserves, in the National Guard. This is a time to recognize the contributions that you have provided to our country and also to our county here locally. We have some wonderful details for this year. Dr. Rodney Jenkins, Director of Durham County Public Health and a military veteran, will be our keynote speaker. We also have a very special treat. We will have the junior ROTC program from Hillside High School who will be presenting and retiring the colors.
Oh,
and
nice.
it is always a wonderful thing when we can have our young people be part of the program. One of the other things that we do is we'll have a walk of honor where our public officials that are in attendance will have the opportunity to shake the hands and thank each veteran who comes and present them with a gift. A few other things that we do, of course, we will have the playing of the national anthem, which will be sung by our own Captain Helen Tripp.
Oh yeah, Helen, it's wonderful.
And she has a wonderful voice and is very dedicated to being part of our program every year. We also present the POW MIA table. It is important to remember those service members who didn't make it home. And so while Veterans Day is always a joyous event, we always want to make sure that we don't forget those folks and their families as well. Mm-hmm. So we welcome all of Durham County's veterans and their families to join us.
And, you know, I really feel proud to work for an organization that values our veterans. And we have quite a few veterans who actually are in our own workforce as well.
We do, and Durham County is very proud that it likes to hire veterans, and veterans are wonderful employees. First off, you think about the person who raises their hand and takes the oath of enlistment and is willing to put the good of the country over their own self-interests. They go and they serve, and then when they come back, they become leaders in their own community, whether that's with their employer, in their houses of worship, in community organizations, and we have quite a few. This event is also a chance for us to recognize those veterans within our own organization who continue to serve the public good here in local county government.
Yeah, well, it's certainly an event I always look forward to attending every year. Yes, absolutely. So at this time of year, we also observe something called Operation Greenlight. What is the purpose of Operation Greenlight, and how does that work?
Well, Operation Greenlight is in its 4th year of existence, and it was created in a joint partnership with the National Association of Counties and the National Association of County Veteran Service Officers. And the idea behind it is to help shine a light on the challenges and obstacles that our veterans face in getting their benefits. We have wonderful institutions that take care of our veterans, of course, the foremost being the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. Mm-hmm. And it's a wonderful institution that provides world-class health care, disability benefits, education benefits, life insurance. But like any institution, it can't provide everything. Sure. And so counties actually are very much at the forefront of serving our veterans. There are county veteran service officers in 29 states. And the reason we exist is to be advocates for veterans in accessing their benefits. Mm-hmm. But even then, with all the good work that we're doing, with all the good work that other veteran service organizations are doing, there are still challenges just due to the imperfection of systems. And so for this week of year, November 4th through the 11th, we ask folks to take a green light bulb, switch out a regular light bulb in your home or place of business, and shine that light green so that our veterans will know that they are not forgotten and their challenges are not forgotten.
Awesome. And I know we actually illuminate some of our county buildings with those green lights as well.
We do. I just put in the work order last week for that.
Very good. Very good. So talk about what you do to really market the work that you do. How do you get information out to the community? What type of marketing do you do? Do you speak to community groups?
We do. Outreach is a big part of our work. In fact, I can tell you the fall is the busiest time for outreach because there's so many wonderful community events that happen this time of year. We have fall festivals. Our Ruritan clubs have their sort of annual celebration day. So we will go out in the community and we'll host tables at these events. As I was telling you earlier, we're actually going to the state fair on Military Appreciation Day. We're going to be at Bahama Day in the northern part of our county here, actually at the end of this week. So we are trying to build relationships with our partners in the community. We go out to veterans clubs and give talks on benefits. We also, of course, have our website and social media through the county. But not everybody are on those things. Veterans are a very diverse population from, 19 and 20-year-olds all the way up to folks in their 90s and low 100s. So we keep in mind that people like to be reached in different ways. And so we are always ready to go out and to talk with our veterans and their families.
Very good. Now, I know that obviously the majority of our veterans are male, but certainly we have services for our female veterans. What are some different services, perhaps, that you have for the female veterans?
That's a great question. Well, of course, thinking about the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs and the healthcare system, the folks that use that system are overwhelmingly male, but the system has been working over the past couple decades to better understand the needs of our veteran population. And so there are actually women's clinics just for women's veterans, specifically at the Durham VA medical system.
Awesome. Jonathan, we really appreciate all that you and your staff do to support our veterans. You all are just great advocates for these important men and women in our community. And I know you have a website and a phone number, which we will put on the screen. And where are you located?
Well, we are located at 201 North Roxborough Street in the old Judicial Annex building. Folks who've been in Durham for quite some time will know this as the old space for the Board of Elections. We actually have been in this space for just about a year now and moved there because it's on the first floor and provides free parking for our veterans, many of whom have disabilities. So we're very accessible, and folks can just walk in between 8:30 and 12 and 1:30 and 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Folks can also reach a veteran service officer on the phone at any time between 8:30 a.m. and 5 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Well, again, we just want to thank you for being on the show, and thank you so much for what you do. And we're looking forward to your event later in November.
Thank you so much, and we can't wait to see you there.
All right. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we will meet with Dana Stewart from Durham County Social Services. We'll be talking about National Adoption Month. Stay with us. We'll see you on the other side.
It's like we just arrived.
I'm here today because of Tanya's relentless efforts in trying to get me healed. When I came back from the war, I became a homeless veteran. I was barely hanging on by a thread. The one thing that was constant for me was music. Music led me to Tanya. Normally with a veteran, we think we can solve everything. The truth of the matter is we cannot.
I just knew that something was different, something was off. I let him know that he wasn't alone. There are people that loved him.
And says, Michael, I know you've got a plan to take your life today, but if you give me just 5 more minutes to love you.
5 more minutes, 5 more minutes, honey, 5 more minutes to love.
Michael has actually taught me what it looks like to accept help.
Today on Deco Insider, we are joined by Open Space Specialist David Bradley. He shares information with us about the discovery of a new fungus species at the New Hope Creek Preserve here in Durham County.
My name is David Bradley. I work with the Durham County Open Space Program, and this morning we are out here at the New Hope Creek Bottomlands Forest, a state-significant natural area in southwestern Durham County. A few years ago, Durham County got a grant from the Burt's Bees Foundation to support an inventory of the incredible biodiversity along New Hope Creek. Researchers from the North Carolina Biodiversity Project went out into the fields here at the Bottomlands, as well as at Hollow Rock Nature Park, and documented everything from birds, mammals, and plants to moths, slime molds, and fungi. Among the most exciting of their findings were those that pertained to rare and unique species. And just earlier this year, scientists published a paper in a peer-reviewed scientific journal, confirming that one of those species, a fungus in the genus Russula, was in fact new to science. They called this species Russula neoelpidensis, from the Greek for new hope. Now, because it's a new species, there's still a lot that we have to learn about it, but it likely has a mutually beneficial relationship with oak trees, just like this one right here. To learn more about the New Hope Creek Bottomlands, you can visit the Open Space Program website, accessible from the Durham County homepage.
Welcome back to In Touch. It's my pleasure to welcome Dana Stewart of Durham County Social Services to the show. Hey Dana, how you doing?
Hey, Miss Deborah, how are you?
I'm great. I'm so happy that you're spending a little time with us today.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, this is a very important topic.
It is.
Yes. So tell us first what you do for Durham County, how long you've been with Durham County.
I'm an adoption social worker. I've been an adoption social worker for 10 years. I've been with Durham County for 14 years.
Now, this year's theme is honoring youth, strengthening pathways for lasting bonds. And I understand it highlights the importance of lifelong support systems for youth in care and recruiting families with their backgrounds. So tell us a little bit about what you all will be doing to celebrate that.
So this year we will be having a community event. It's going to be the first Saturday of November. It involves the adoptive parents and the children that lives in the home.
So about how many children do we have in Durham County needing to be adopted?
So for foster care, there's 175 children in care. There's 60 children who have a permanent goal of adoption, and there's 13 children who are legally free needing a home.
Now, talk about, I think I've heard something that says like the average child waits about 3 years for adoption. Is that the case here in Durham County?
So it's a case-by-case basis. It all depends when a child becomes legally free. And so when they are legally free, they come to our unit. So it typically takes about a year, depending on if the resource parent or the relative is already licensed.
Okay, very good. Now, I know a family makes a choice to adopt. Tell us a little bit about how prospective parents begin that process. What are the steps involved? Are there classes?
Yes, ma'am. So the resource parents are either therapeutic or traditional foster care parents. They're already licensed, and so they do take training, trauma-focused training. When it comes to my unit, they are completing what we call a pre-placement assessment, better known as adoption home study. And that involves maybe 60 to 90 days. The state requires us to complete that pre-placement assessment.
Right. Yeah. So, what does a successful adoption look like?
Well, Ms. Zara, I will tell you that a successful adoption is almost every adoption. And that's just short term. Long term, we would like for the children to remain what we call an adoptive family because it is permanent. And we want, that's what we consider the successful adoption. You know, making sure that the kids stay with the family and that they do not come back or re-enter into foster care.
And sadly, I know that sometimes that actually can happen.
Yes, ma'am, it does.
Now, I believe that the county also provides post-adoption support services for families. What does that involve?
Yes, we do provide post-adoption services. We do have a social worker. Her name is Ulysses Staten. The service is provided until the child is either 18 or 21 years old. And I know I gave you a different range, but depending on when they got adopted is when it'll send to 21 years old. there are some benefits that comes along with it, Medicaid, along with some of them a monthly stipend until they age out.
Yeah, yeah. So, um, can single people adopt? I can recall a time when I think you had to have two parents to adopt, but has that changed?
Yes, ma'am. It has changed. So yes, single people can adopt. They have to either be single or divorced, clear from all strings attached, because sometimes you have to get that parent to sign a waiver to go ahead with a legal adoption process. As long as they pass the background checks, the home is clear, and lots of love, just lots of love for our babies.
Yeah. So, I know one of the other issues that, we often hear about is the fact that sometimes, it's not just a single child, you have siblings involved.
Yes.
And how challenging is it to keep those siblings together and get them in a permanent adoptive situation?
Now, we always try to make sure that the siblings can stay together as much as possible. There has been times where they have been separated for their best interests. Some of them may have higher needs than the others, but we always encourage our adoptive families to make sure that they have sibling contact, whether it's at virtual, a monthly visit, or meet during the holidays.
Okay, well that's good to know. Now, I know you said you've been doing this for a little while, and I'm just wondering, is there a family that kind of stands out in your mind, somebody you've worked with? Now, you don't have to give the name,
Yes.
but just describe the situation and why they were so maybe special to you.
Yes, ma'am. So I have two families in mind. One is a 16-year-old male who has been in care for almost 11 years. He was recently adopted last year with a same-sex couple. The second family is a medically fragile African-American child who is in a two-parent home. He was separated from his siblings of four. He continues to have contact with them.
Yeah, so that's got to be a really good feeling when you can get those families together successfully.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, I know that there are situations where maybe people who adopt have been adopted themselves. Do you have that happen at all?
Yes, ma'am. I do have one colleague from memory who has adopted two children when she lived in Oklahoma. So she's now a child welfare social worker. So she's adopted kids, and and then she also ended up pregnant, having another child as well. Yes.
Yeah, so that's got to be great to have that blended family.
Yes.
Yeah. So talk about the size of your unit. How large is your unit?
So we have six social workers and my supervisor. Out of those six social worker is the post-adoption social worker, which is Ulysses Staten.
Now, I guess that what you do involves outreach. How do you all get the word out about the services that you have?
Yes, ma'am. So the adoption unit, along with the foster home licensing unit, work closely together. Primarily, our families are coming from the licensing unit. If they're not coming from the licensing unit, the child may be placed with a relative or from a therapeutic agency. We do have a matching event. We had our first matching event a couple of months ago. We will have our next matching event in the early spring.
Now, how does that work?
So the children who are legally free for adoption, we completed a profile on them. We discussed them with a group of individuals who are interested in adopting. They have to either be licensed or have a then approved adoption home study.
So how does a person maybe watching the show make a decision that they might be interested in determining if they can become an adoptive parent? How do they get started?
So how they get started, Ms. Deborah, they will call 919-560-8092. That is our interested foster to adopt line. where you would contact, you'll probably speak to Deborah Cousins, who will let you know when is the next orientation. During that process, Deborah will ask you to complete an application. She will run your background check just to make sure that you can start the process.
Very good. So one of the things I think I remember you mentioned home visits. What does that look like?
So we at least do at least a monthly visit. All the children who are in Durham County DSS custody, we have to do at least a monthly visit. But we're seeing everyone in the home, the resource parents, all of the children. We're doing individual interviews as long as family interviews.
So that's good. Now, I know at the beginning you did mention that, you are having an event the first weekend of November.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So have you all been celebrating National Adoption Month a long time?
Yes, ma'am. Since I've been a part of the unit for the last 10 years, we have been afforded to have an adoption celebration, even during COVID.
Okay. So where will this event take place?
It is going to be in Raleigh, North Carolina. A fun, eventful place for all of the adoptive families to come attend.
Well, very good. Well, we're going to look forward to seeing more information about that. But again, we just want to thank you and your staff for all you do for our families in Durham.
Thank
it's
you so
important
much.
work, and I can tell you have a passion and a heart for what you do.
I love it, Deborah. This is my passion. This is my calling. Though I have not been adopted, I have been in the guardianship program, raised by both sets of my grandparents. So I am paying it forward.
Very good. Very good. Well, again, we thank you so much and give our best to your team.
Thank you.
And we'd like to thank you all for joining us today. I will just continue to mention that Durham County has a new website. Please visit our site, take a look at it, tell us how you like it, and we want your feedback. You can find it at www.dconc.gov. And don't forget to follow us on social media and all of our media channels, including Blue Sky. We'll see you next time on In Touch with Durham County. Cheers!